I am the one who will wait for you all your life, today, tomorrow, and forever. I am your friend. I am your dog. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of our Irish Country Life here in the west coast of Ireland, and today it's absolutely beautiful weather. So for today I have a couple of window boxes which I want to plant up with some summer bedding, but in order to do that we need to head off to a man who grows some bedding plants locally on the way to Screen, and we're going to go and visit him and grab some nice bedding plants, really good quality bedding plants, the likes of petunias, begonias, that sort of thing, but he grows them on really well, so they're very good quality. Also, for you today, I'm going to be making a delicious Bellissimo TIRAMISU, homemade. I don't like desserts with coffee, except for I do like coffee cake, but anyway, I never liked tiramisu if I ordered it in a restaurant or if I went to a shop and I purchased it or somebody served it out of a shop for dessert. Not my thing. But I have to say, you really must try this homemade tiramisu. It's light, it's moussey, it doesn't really have a very strong coffee bitter taste. It's really, really delicious. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that with the help of my little French workaway called Elise. And I'm also going to be reading you a lovely doggy poem which I came across on the internet, and it sort of melted my heart a wee bit. So I'll read that out to you later with Scooter by my side, and hopefully everybody will wish him well, and his friendship with Teddy will reunite and they'll be friends again very soon.
Just a dream, just all in my head. Floating rivers upstream, the things that you said. Tell me and be honest. Tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter's snow? Tell me and be honest. Tell me, should I've known quiet and slow? I try my best to move on.
Bloody YouTube.
They say time is a healer.
Okay, you guys, it's extremely hot today and it's very sunny, and so it might interfere a little bit with our quality of Chris's filming. So glad it's not me filming today. But anyhow, here's a little sample of what we got from the garden centre. So we got some lovely purple and fuchsia pink trailing petunias. We also got some lovely violas. We also got some beautiful begonias. And this is limitless begonia, which is the single petal, but it's also mixed with a double petal. So we've got two in one tray here. We also got it in a beautiful yellow, the double flowering one, and we also got it in a beautiful burnt orange. I don't know if you can see the color of that, but it's absolutely stunning. There's another one down there in the beautiful burnt orange. We got some white Elysium, and we got some pelargoniums, geraniums. So that's our selection, and that's our bedding plants that we're going to be putting into our window boxes and some urns and pots around the garden just to brighten the place up for the open gardens. So now we'll go and we'll get on with planting up our first window box. So come join me in the courtyard and we'll get doing that. And then I think it's time for a nice cup of tea. Chris can make it. Okay, you guys, so this is our first window box that we're going to be planting up. And just a couple of tips, I'm sure you already know. Don't fill the box, the tub, the basket, anything you're planting right to the top with compost, because as soon as you add water, it swells and it will start spilling out all over the top. So leave yourself a couple of inches from the top to allow for watering. Also, when you first bought your plants, it's always an idea to put them into a bucket of water before you put them into the pot. That way you know that the root ball has got water, because once you've filled up the pot, it's difficult for the water. It tends to run off the leaves and everywhere except where it's supposed to go, in at the roots. So I would soak them for a good 15-20 minutes in water before you put them into your window box. So now that I've given you the little tips that I learned along the way, I'm going to get on with planting. And I have no idea what I'm doing, but anyway, I'm going to just try to make this window box look as pretty as I can. Oh, and we just found a snail, which we do not want to pop into our window box. And I'm going to pop a geranium in here as well, just to give it a little bit of height. And just for a little bit of instant colour, we will put a couple of little alyssums in around the front, and they'll get bushy and fill out along the way. So what I've done for a little bit of evenness is I've put one alyssum at the front corner and one at the rear corner, and hopefully that'll give a little bit of height here and a little bit of height there also. And now we're just going to infill a little bit with a little bit more compost, and I think that should be enough. Now I'm going to give this a water deadhead and give it a good drink of water with the watering can, and that should look really lovely and start to fill out in the next couple of weeks. The compost I've put is all new, so it has enough nutrients in it for about 6 to 8 weeks, and then I will need to give it a drink and a feed of some liquid tomato food or some seaweed, whichever I've got to hand. Yeah. Okay, everybody, so this poem is with love from Scooter to you all, and it's called Poem of a Dog. I'm the one who's always waiting for you. Your car has a special sound that I have imprinted on my senses. I can recognize it in 1,000. Your steps have a magic bell. Your voice is music to my ears. If I see your joy, it makes me happy. Your scent is the best. Your present moves my senses. You waking up wakes me up. I contemplate you sleeping, and for me you are my God. I am happy watching your sleep. Your look is a ray of light. Your hands upon me hold the likeness of peace and the sublime display of infinitive love. When you leave, I feel a huge void in my heart. I keep waiting for you again and again. I am the one who will wait for you all your life, today, tomorrow, and forever. I am your friend. I am your dog. Yes. Okay, you guys, so now we're going to make the delicious tiramisu for you. Very simple, very easy, and absolutely delicious. I normally don't like tiramisu and I never order it when I go out or buy it from a shop, but a workaway of mine, Elise, who's come from France, has made it for us and it's absolutely delicious. So we thought we enjoyed it so much, we're going to share the recipe with you. And this is her grandma's very old recipe that she uses. So, I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are, and Elise is going to do all the work. So, whereabouts in France are you from, Elise?
South of France, in Grenoble.
Grenoble. Okay, lovely. And this is your grandma's old recipe, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. And so we're going to make the tiramisu, and this is enough for 8 people for a dinner party. And so what we've got is we've got 4 packets of the Salvador biscuits, the fingers. If you want to, you can use your own sponge or Madeira cake, but I like to use the biscuits. We've also got 4 cups of espresso coffee, which has gone cold. We've got 6 eggs, 6 egg yolks in this bowl and 6 egg whites in this bowl. We've got 75 grams of sugar and we've got 500 grams of mascarpone cheese. And what we're going to do is Elise is going to start whipping the egg yolks and the sugar together with our whisk. We also have a Pyrex dish, which is a square Pyrex dish, which fits 2 rows of the biscuits perfectly. Now, you can use a round one, you can do whatever you like. You can break your sponge however you want. Because it's dipped in coffee, they will soften and it just becomes like a massive sponge anyway. So while Elise is doing that, I'm going to get on with dunking the biscuits. Funny story before we carry on dipping the biscuits. Chris is back doing the filming today. I'd be very interested to know whether anybody can tell whether he's filming or whether my filming was useless last week, or so he told me. But anyway, get on with it now. So you just get your biscuits and you dip them in your cold coffee like that. You don't have to leave them sitting in it because if you do, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to break. So very quickly, and you place them along your tray. So it is literally just a case of dunking them in the coffee very quickly. And you might think that's a lot of coffee, but actually it goes down very quickly. So Elise is going to start whisking the egg yolks and the sugar. And I'm going to carry on lining the dish. We're going to do 2 layers. We're going to do a layer of biscuit, and then we're going to do a layer of the cream, and then another layer of biscuit, another layer of cream, and then we're going to finish off with our dusting of cocoa powder, which I forgot to tell you in the recipe we need, because we haven't got it on the table, but we will put some on the table right now. Okay, so Elise has just told me that you carry on beating your eggs and your sugar until it becomes a light, pale, creamy, fluffy mixture. So I'd probably say about 5 minutes or so we'll do it. So you can see now we've done our first layer of our biscuits. I've just transferred the coffee into a wider bowl because it's easier than trying to dip them lengthways, because otherwise they're just breaking. Okay, so now we've got it to that nice, paler, fluffy stage. We're going to add in our 500 grams of mascarpone cheese, and we're going to whip that together for a few minutes. Isn't that right, Elise?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got our layer of sponge fingers soaked in our espresso. What I forgot to mention earlier is we'll also need a little bit of cocoa powder for dusting over the top. That is optional. A lot of people find it too bitter and they don't want it, but we like it. Okay, Elise has just told me that the secret to whipping your egg whites to get them nice and fluffy is to add a little pinch of salt into your egg whites before you start whisking. Is that right, Elise? Yes? Okay, so she's going to do that now. So just a little pinch of table salt, and that's enough. Okay. And we can whisk the egg whites in a separate bowl, and we're just going to whisk them until they're light and fluffy, and then we're going to fold them into the other mixture, the other egg and cream cheese mixture. I can't wait for this. The only thing about this recipe is you have to leave it in the fridge to chill for a few hours, and we don't know if we've got enough hours to do that. Okay, Chris has just chased Scooter out from under the table because as soon as I mentioned chocolate, he was under the table. He wasn't interested at the coffee stage, but the chocolate he came. So Elise has just told me she's whisked the egg whites until they're nice and firm, and she has guaranteed me that you should be able to turn the bowl upside down. But we're not going to try that, okay? So they're nice and thick and fluffy, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just use a metal spoon to fold the egg whites into the cream, the egg and mascarpone mixture, just to loosen it up. So literally half the egg whites, and then fold them in, and then we'll add the other half. So you don't want to knock the air out of the egg whites. So there's no point in using the electric whisk because that's exactly what you'll do, you'll knock all the air out. So you just fold in the one direction. Okay, this stage does take a few minutes because you have to incorporate all the egg whites into the cream mixture. It does take a while, but it is worth it because you're keeping all the air, and you're going to end up with a lovely light, fluffy cream as opposed to a dense, heavy cream. And I think that's almost done. So now Elise is going to put half of that mixture on top of the biscuits. Shall I hold it for you? And you can spoon out and just spread it over. Okay, and so now we're back to doing our second layer of our biscuits. So again, we're just dipping our biscuit quickly in the espresso. What we're going to do now is we're going to use the rest of our cream over the top. And again, we're going to spread it out. We'll make sure we get all of this lovely goodness out of the bowl. And actually, it smells amazing. Okay, so we've actually used 3 out of 4 of the packets of Salvador fingers, which means there is 36 fingers. So we've used 3 times 12, which is 36. But like I said, you can make it with Madeira sponge, you can make it with whatever you've got, trifle sponge, anything like that. But I like the biscuits. So now Elise has fully coated all of it. We're going to get our sieve, and very important to sieve the cocoa because you will end up with little lumps if you don't. And we're literally going to just dust the top with our cocoa. So just a nice thin dusting of good quality cocoa. And then that is going to go into the fridge and set for 3 to 4 hours. And then we're going to eat all of it, aren't we, Elise? Every last bit. There's none left for Grandma. Okay. And that's it, my friends. That is our homemade, delicious tiramisu, which even if you don't like coffee-based desserts, I promise you, you will love this. So, see you a bit later. And now, folks, for a slice of that delicious, homemade, easy-peasy tiramisu with a cup of delicious Greek coffee. You, Chris? Bon appetit, my friends. And a piece for you. Let's get stuck in. Been waiting for this. That's really good. Beautifully light and not heavy at all. Really good. So, folks, try the homemade tiramisu. It tastes nothing like the one you buy in the shop. And don't forget, thank you for watching from Nikolai, Chris and Scooter. Au revoir, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for another video here in the west coast of Ireland.